Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of The Fishing Teacher, and much appreciated you guys checking today's video out and spending some time with me. Guys, today I'm going to show you the jerkbait color that I caught 110 bass on one day, probably about 5 years ago. What I want to do here is this is probably the most bass I've ever caught in one day on a jerkbait. And I want to explain to you guys a little bit about this color and the conditions it works in. And the day that I caught them on this particular jerkbait is the type of day that when you get this type of conditions, there's not another better color than what I'm going to show you guys here in today's video. So we're going to get into that. I'm also, guys, real quick reminder, just want to let you know, if you guys are getting ready to prepare for spring, please swing by and check out my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns. These are lake breakdowns I've got for lakes all across the country. I built for Fish the Moment. It's just a great resource to learn more about your favorite lake and get some good spots on the lake if you don't know it very well. And also check out our sale we have right now on my Solar Bat Series RB2 and 3 sunglasses with Solar Bat. You can get them at 30% off right now on the website. So I'll put all those links in the description for the map breakdowns and the sunglasses. So thanks, appreciate you guys putting up the plugs there. Okay, guys, let me lay this scenario out with you guys. And then I'll show you the bait and everything. This was I was fishing with a friend of mine that wanted to go jerkbait fishing, but at the time I didn't have my boat. I was in between boats, but I did have a little 14-foot flat bottom with a 5-horse motor on it and a 12-volt trolling motor. So I told my buddy, it's like, man, I don't have my regular boat. I'm in between boats right now, but I got my little pond boat. And he goes, well, that's fine, let's go in there. So we went up there, guys. It was December at Stockton Lake about 5 years ago. And I'm gonna show you the bait here, then I'm gonna talk about the scenario, how we caught him in. Now, here's the bait, this it is right here, guys. This is the Megabass Vision 110. This is the HT Tennessee Shad color. You can see this thing's been chewed up. I've caught a ton of fish on this one. Guys, this is one of my favorite wintertime jerkbait colors, and this is a favorite of a lot of guys. That got some good coloration on it. I really like this little puff of chartreuse on it. Also, guys, I'll link my Megabass jerkbait link in the description. If you guys want to get some of these colors, using that link in the description is a good way to get them and support the channel. They make them in a lot of different models. This is just the 110. It's called HT Tennessee Shad. This is the one you want to get. Okay, so the day we're out here, here's the scenario out there. We got out there, December. It was, the temperature was probably, I'm gonna guess, in the upper 40s or low 50s. And it was, heavy overcast and windy. And occasionally it would be spitting rain a little bit. So we had probably, I'm gonna guess, a 20-mile-an-hour wind, pretty windy day, low light conditions. It was very dark out. Like I said, these were big, heavy, dark clouds. There wasn't much light intensity coming through there. So we had low light conditions, we had wind, and the water visibility had some stain to it. This was about, I'm gonna guess we had probably 2.5 foot of visibility, which is not real clear for jerkbait fishing. Water temperatures were, I think at that time, they were probably upper 40s, right around 50 degrees. So that's the scenario with that. And guys, whatever it was that day, I don't know what the situation, we just hit the timing perfect. With the lake level the way it was, with the water clarity that it was, with the conditions we have, south wind also, all those factors contributed to this thing, this HT Tennessee Shad, guys, lighting them up. We caught 110 bass that day. We counted them. And this is what we caught them all. Every fish came on the HT Tennessee Shad. We tried other colors and didn't do hardly anything on them, but when we put this particular color on, it just lit them up. Now, this speaks to a bigger picture, what we're talking about here, of how important color is in a jerkbait. Because in my opinion, color is the most important thing in a jerkbait, maybe aside from how you work it. But that's why you got to have a lot of different jerkbait colors, is because you have to match the conditions to different colors of the jerkbait. Now, every day that you're out on the water, you have a different amount of light intensity. The sunlight angles are different depending upon the time of day you're out there. The wind's different as far as the speed of it. The direction's usually different, based upon various situations. The water level and water clarities can be different. And overall, just the mood and the personality can be different. And the thing that you have to determine in jerkbait fishing, there's two things. Number one is the color they want, and number two is the rhythm, the cadence, and the action that you put on a jerkbait. All those things change on a day-to-day basis. Now, I can tell you one thing about jerkbait fishing. It's like when you get that combination together of the right color and the right cadence, you're gonna catch some good fish under the right conditions. And I have never seen, out of all the lures that I fished, the lure categories that I fished, I've never seen another lure where color means everything. You can, when you're jerkbait fishing, a lot of times, it's just like that day we caught 110 on the HT Tennessee shad. If you don't throw the right color, you're not going to catch much. And this is the reason why people struggle with jerkbaits a lot, is because most people don't have enough colors. I make a note to look in the tackle box of a lot of people I fish with, and they may have 2 or 3 different colors of a jerkbait and they call it good. You can't do that, man. You got to have 20 different colors of a jerkbait to match the conditions that change every day. And on top of that, you don't really know what color to use under those conditions. It's a matter of experimentation. So one of the ways you find this out is like, I sort of have the 15-minute rule. It's like if I'm fishing a jerkbait and if I go over 15 minutes without catching a bass, I usually change the color up. And if I start catching a bass or two, then I also start changing the color up, because if I know there's fish for sure where I'm fishing at, I try to determine what color the bass are going to react to better than others. And there are some guidelines we've done. You can refer back to some of my other jerkbait videos on my playlist on the channel here, but there are some guidelines that give you an idea what to start with, but ultimately you have to experiment and find out what the bass want that particular day. But anyway, guys, this is a buddy of mine. His name's Russ Tonkinson. We fished together when I caught this. Like I said, that was quite a day. Like I said, I'll put that Tackle Warehouse link in the description if you guys want to order it. Again, it's called the HT Tennessee Shad. So hope it helps out, guys. We'll talk later.